Hey YouTubers, it's Dave with HomeServerShow.com. This is an audio podcast, but we record it live on YouTube. So all the topics we're talking about here are going to be elongated into like this hour-and-a-half video, which may not be what you're looking for when you hit the keywords for this video. This is a podcast, so don't downgrade it because it's a podcast, but check out this channel. Some of the things that we talk about here, I've got listed as other videos in this channel. This one is just the podcast we do live in order to capture the audio for the audio podcast, HomeServerShow.com. So if you came here for home automation stuff, don't forget HomeAutomationForums.com. So we're going to start the recording now. Let me make sure. Okay, I got that. Make this smaller. And go live. Schoonover's flying from Atlanta to LA. I assume that's Schoonover. KS. And he's usually flying. Alright, here we go. This is the Home Server Show, episode number 299, recorded on April the 27th, 2016. Welcome back to the Home Server Show. It's me, Dave, and it's me, Mike Fauché. That didn't work, Mike.
How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. It's Mr. Mike Fauché. Helping me out tonight, Jim is absent. He did not bring me an excusal slip or anything. He just said I can't make it. So I have no clue. Hope Jim is well. Okay, we have a lot to go over tonight. Let me tell you, this is a full show, so hang in there. Tons of storage, tons of media, tons of home automation. It's going to be a fun show. Don't forget we're a member of the Geeks Network, thegeeksnetwork.com. Go check that out for more great podcasts and forums. Really good stuff over there. Excuse me. Attack. Okay, edit that out of the audio. I've been attacked by allergies lately, and it's crazy. So I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/David McCabe or /HomeServerShow, whatever you want to put in there. Go check it out, subscribe, watch the videos. It's a lot of fun. And find me on Twitter @HomeServerShow. And my personal account that I use for everything is @McCabeIO. Mr. Mike Fauché, where can I find you on Twitter?
I am at PC Docs World.
PC Docs World, and the website is about the same, right?
It's thedocsworld.net.
Thedocsworld.net. Don't forget to check the show notes of this podcast at HomeServerShow.com. It'll be episode number 299. We'll put all that good info in there. Now, I want to start real quickly because we got to go. We've got too much to do. I want to start with my Amazon story. Now, it's not crazy storage story, but so I ordered something from Amazon. This was yesterday, last night actually, and I threw it into my shopping cart, and I was going to pay with a debit card that was like a gift card debit card. It was $150, and the total came out to $158, and I hit purchase, so it went through. Right, you get the email, thank you for your purchase. And then 5 minutes later, it kicked back saying, hey, we couldn't charge that on your card. It got denied. Well, yeah, it was a $150 card. My bad. So what I ended up doing was, if you have a debit card that has a set amount on it and you want to go through Amazon and you want to make like a purchase with 2 credit cards instead of 1 credit card, you buy a gift card. So my debit card was $150. I bought a $150 Amazon gift card, sent it to myself. In like 60 seconds, I had my e-gift card. It was a beautiful thing. So then I go back to Amazon and I look up my same item and I throw it in the cart, and it was a little more expensive, like 30 cents more expensive, Mike. And then I looked at the shipping options and it said, get this by Thursday with free 2-day shipping. I'm thinking, wait a minute. When I first looked at this item, it said, get it tomorrow with free 1-day shipping. I'm like, okay, something's wrong here? Did I go over that time limit, right? You know, because when you get something in your cart and you're making a decision on shipping, you have that timer on Amazon saying if you order within the next X minutes, you can have this on X day, right? So it said if you order this within the next 45 minutes, you can have this in 2 days. I was like, man, this is not fair, because I wanted this tomorrow, right? Because I wanted to be able to talk about it on today's show. So moral of the story is, if you scroll down to the right and you look at other fulfillment centers, meaning you can buy this from someone else. It may not be Amazon, but you can buy it from someone else. It may be cheaper, and it usually is cheaper if it's not from Amazon. But the thing is I was buying from Amazon Prime. So I scrolled down to the right and I looked, because I always do this, and there was another Amazon Prime listed down there. So I clicked it. It loaded into my cart. It was 30 cents more expensive, and it said free next day shipping. Have this tomorrow. So, of course, that's the one I threw in the cart. I'm a Prime member. If I'm paying for it, I'm getting my free one-day shipping. So I ordered, another reason Amazon is awesome, I ordered this at like 9 o'clock last night, and I had it before noon for free. One-day shipping.
That's pretty amazing how they can pull that off.
Yeah, it's awesomely amazing. So obviously, it was listed as Prime, and it was, I don't know why, but pulling from one location, probably some warehouse in, Colorado. Instead, this other location was pulling from my warehouse, either here in the Indianapolis area or in the Kentucky area, and so they got it to me before noon. So we'll talk about that item later on in the show, but also want to remind you, if you do shop Amazon, shop with my affiliate links. You just go to the website and you can click anywhere, or you just remember homeservershow.com/Amazon. It'll take you right there. I appreciate it. That allows me to buy more stuff and talk about it on the podcast. So, all right, I put out a really major tweet tonight, Mike. I put out that I am going to solve all of you using Media Center. I'm going to solve your issues.
This I gotta hear.
Okay. Sorry, Jim just tweeted me, and we were talking about something else, and so he's alive and well. I've been talking to Jim. He's just not here tonight. Don't mean to leave you hanging. Media Center. I'm going to solve everything for you, and it means you're going to have to give up Media Center. But after I tell you the solution to this story, you are going to want to give up your Media Center. I am going to put this link in the live chat. It's back. It's called TiVo. Yes, you heard right. TiVo. TiVo has announced today, this morning, they announced that their Roamio product, Roamio product is their OTA product, Mike. I don't know if you're familiar with TiVo. I am a big TiVo fan from, oh my God, so long ago. I mean, I bought the Series 1, the Sony.
Mm-hmm.
The Roamio product was, it was expensive, $4.99 or $5.99 for this box, and it was OTA, and then you had to pay for guides. You had a monthly recurring, so you paid $600 plus you had like a $13 to $15 monthly recurring fee for the guide. It was nuts. That's not enough to make Media Center guy convert. It's not enough. You're not ever going to get that past the accounting department. Well, now I think you can. They have announced a 1 terabyte Roamio box that's OTA recording, plus it has all the, tons of apps in it. It's going to be $399. $399, and it's OTA for the life of that box. As long as it lives, it works, Mike. As long as it lives, it works. So do I have you? Are you on board with me, Mike?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Now let me think about that for a second. No, it's not the. I mean, it sounds really good. My problem is over the air. It doesn't really do anything for me.
True.
I mean,
This is a cord
obviously,
cutter product.
it's a cord cutter product, but it also depends on whether or not you're able to cut the cord. I mean, would have no qualms about getting rid of my cable channel if I could actually replace the stuff that we actually listen to. And none of that's available over the air because I don't listen to local channels or primetime TV. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're heading in the right direction. It's an awesome looking product. I just wish it could interface to a cable card or something else that would entice me to go that direction.
Yeah, no, I think that's their bigger box. They've got a bigger box that I think does that. I'm not sure. This is completely cord cutter box OTA, and if you look at the link that I put in the show notes and I gave to you, it comes with the one pass where you say record every survivor, boom, it records it. It'll search across everything, so it'll search across all your apps too, and it lists some awesome apps. Let me find them. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. There's more. I forget where they're at. I can't find them right now. But there's a lot like Voodoo.
Yeah, I don't see them either, actually.
Voodoo's on there. A lot of cool apps come with this. So I know you guys out there, you like your Kodi, you like your computer, you're not going to give that up. But for the ease of use of a product like this, $3.99 is a good deal for OTA. Now, I'm going to throw one more thing at you. It works with the TiVo Mini. So the TiVo Mini is $149 like remote, like a Seaton box, like the Seaton Echo if you're a media center guy, which is a remote media center. So you put $149 remote at a TV and it will work with that. Netflix, Prime, Hulu, video, YouTube. It works. So that is a pretty cool deal right there. Now I know I know the argument is going to be $400. That's expensive. Well, that's what we're paying for a PC to run, Media Center or Kodi or something like that.
Alternate way to look at this is you're really looking at, because this also has 4K support, so you're really looking at something like the Roku 4, plus the addition of recording capabilities over the air and a hard drive. So it's actually, for them, it's really kind of competitively priced.
So CS Kenny's asking, so to watch recorded content on other TVs, I have to add $149 at each TV. Yes. How are you getting content at your other TVs? Your recorded content. I'm just asking. It also comes with apps. So you can watch on your tablets, you can watch on your phones, and you can watch from remote too. So I think it's a great deal. A Seaton Echo was, I think at the cheapest was $99. So I think it's a good deal. I think it's come a long way. TiVo has kind of been, to me, they've just been a has-been. They were at the peak, they were there, and then I don't know, I just kind of forgot about them. If you're an OTA guy like me, I think that's going to be good. I could use some coffee. I didn't bring any coffee up here.
Did you mention this thing's actually got 4 tuners?
No, I didn't. I missed all the tuner talk.
Yeah, and it's got some sort of commercial skip in it too, I think.
Well, it has like that super button, right, where you could skip all the commercials. But now some TV channels are masking that, so they've got an agreement. So you never know. But I mean, I don't really care because Media Center right now, when a commercial comes up, I hit skip forward 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I look. Oh, 2 more times. Oh, back twice. Done. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. Actually, I learned that from TiVo. Yeah, 4 tuners, 1 terabyte of storage. That's 150 HD. Skip mode, like you said, 1 pass, 1 search. Casting, you can cast Netflix or YouTube from your phone to the box. You don't need Chromecast anymore to do this. Multi-room, I think it's good. It's a good product. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it first thing. You still got to get a $400 approved by the accounting department. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, now that I've solved that for you, you can buy it at Best Buy or Amazon. So use homeservershow.com/Amazon because you learned it here, right? Let's start the storage news. This PC I'm on right here. What am I running? I'm running a very small SSD as my C drive. Actually, as File Explorer is not responding, freaking Windows. Okay, here it goes. Yeah, I'm running 128. So I have 2 SSDs striped for speed because I'm like that. But 128 is small, so I kind of have to manage what I install. So I have another SSD stripe for programs. So I actually have 4 SSDs in this machine, kind of zipping right along. But it got full, and it kept getting full. And I did the hard drive clean that they do, and I thought I'll get to that. I'll get to it. I'll clean the hard drive. So I started digging around, and I used Windirstat. I know everybody's used at some point in their life Windirstat. It's WINDIRSTAT, and it maps your hard drive and what the big files are. And I was able to find my app data local had a temp directory in it that had 46 gigs of space used. So the reason I'm telling you that is because, I think that I manage my space somewhat wisely. And here I had 46 gigs of, patches, service packs, and all kinds of crap in my app data local directory. So I just want you to check yours. So get Windirstat. Google that. Windirstat. You ever use that, Mike?
No, actually, I haven't. I haven't had a lot of problems with space loss or creepage, but I can certainly understand how it can get there. But no, I haven't tried that. I got to take a look at that.
Yeah, it comes from me being on the Surface for so long, right? The
Right.
Surface Pro, the Pro 2, Surface Pro 3, and now Surface Book. I've never really had a large C drive. That's how many years? 3, 4 years of not having a very large C drive. And, used to we would have, I had a 500 gig black, a WD black.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even mirrored or striped if you had a little extra money. But these SSD files, they kind of cut us down. Now the SSD space is getting back up there. There's no reason I should be living with a 128 gig C drive. I completely understand that. I'm with you.
On that topic, actually, I saw a flyer this week, or actually late last week, and I think it's still available from Newegg. It's a 1 terabyte, the Mushkin enhanced drives for $209, which I thought was a really great deal because for anybody, especially with a laptop, you can actually put some decent storage in there. And they use the MLC memory, so it's not the garbage TLC stuff. So they're pretty nice drives for that price. It's almost hard to pass up when you're going to pay $120 for a 256 gig drive.
Yeah, that's crazy amount of money. That's probably what I paid for
Yeah,
my
60 gig.
128s. Yeah. Yeah, we used to. I mean, I used to. You, yeah, I don't remember the prices. The prices were everywhere. So, yeah, there's no reason that I should do that. It's just, it's running. It works. I just freed up 46 gigs. So I'm gonna run it until I run it in the ground.
There you
So,
go.
yeah, check
Which will
yours.
be a while.
I hope. I hope so.
Hmm.
Now my house just shook. The thunderstorms are on the way. So hopefully we'll stay on with power. Let's move to our more storage, but I want to talk cloud services. We've talked about this service a lot. Well, not a lot, but we talked about it way back in the day. BitCasa. You remember this one? BitCasa. They went to
Yeah,
one
sure
of those
did.
showdown shows, right, where they present their products to all the investors, and they won. And it was like the TechCrunch thing, maybe. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. And they had this huge storage product, and they were they were like the Apple of the storage, cloud storage people. It was just this great extended hard drive. They were going to last forever, and then boom, BitCasa is killing their Drive cloud storage service on May 20th. They're just saying, "See ya. Get your stuff and go."
Yeah, another one goes.
Yeah, BitCasa killed the hard drive, and now they're killing the service. So I think they're going to focus on business. So if you are using BitCasa, you probably already got the email, but you probably should make some plans to get on out of here. Just like Copy and Cuda, which this is around the corner, Mike. I used Copy.com, so I still have tons of files out there, probably 200 to 300 gigs of files on copy.com, and they will be erased, turned off May 1st. Did you use Copy?
I had a copy account. I played with it a little bit, but I never really took it seriously. I don't know why, but I just never
I didn't
never
either.
took never took it to actually put it to use because I wanted a little different integration, so I just never went there. I stuck
Mhm.
with the some of the bigger players.
Yeah, they shouldn't have given guys like me 5 gigs per every referral, right? Because I amassed like something like 400 gigs of storage space, and I started using it. So,
Yeah.
I got them a lot of customers though, and I don't know. It looks like they didn't turn those customers into paying customers. So sorry, copy.com. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Also, OneDrive. Now you remember when OneDrive came out and they said, "Hey, you remember that whole unlimited thing?" Well, yeah, not really. So they were gonna reduce our storage amounts. So that's fine. I mean, who didn't expect that to happen? We expect that to happen with all of these cloud accounts, right? Do you still use OneDrive, Mike?
Yeah, I sure do. Actually, that's probably one of my favorite services just because it's integrated so tightly with Office and everything else. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a Windows 10 user, you almost have to or should use it. I don't use it as a backup. I actually use it as, kind of primary data storage for
Mm-hmm.
Word docs and stuff like that. And then as far as backup goes, I'm still a multi-Amazon account person. So,
Okay. Yeah, I would consider OneDrive my daily driver, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
sure.
when I open my browser, I have a OneDrive tab open. That's how much I am in it, and I don't. People hate the web applet, the web interface to use it, and I use it every day.
Yeah,
I've come to. They took away placeholders on the PC, so that
right.
means I can't sync the directory and use it like file manager. So I just use it in the web service. I don't mind it, and I use it for a little bit of backup, a little bit of photo like archival, but mostly, I mean, it's what I use for everything my phone does goes to OneDrive. I mean, everything I take a picture of, bam.
Yeah, me too. Actually,
Yeah.
I I'm an iPhone user, so it goes to iCloud automatically, but I'm also using the OneDrive app, which does a really good job at backing up your stuff. So, and unlike iCloud, where if you delete something, it just blows across all of your devices and kills everything. OneDrive actually does a nice job for, as a second copy, so all my pictures and stuff like that get a little bit more protection.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, OneDrive came out and said that they're going to reduce their free 15 gigs plan down to 5 gig, and you had a chance to click on an email and go out there and say, no, I would like to keep my 15 gig for free. And I did that. And I can't even remember when I did that. It was years ago, a year ago or something. And they sent me an email reminding me that I did that. So they're just kind of reminding me that they pissed me off, right? We know we made you sad, Dave, but just wanted to make sure you remembered. Thank you, OneDrive team. So I don't know what I'm getting at here. Maybe go check your OneDrive, make sure everything's cool with it, make sure the storage space is where you thought it was supposed to be. Drashna says he wishes Amazon Cloud Drive was more stable as a provider. Here's the crazy thing. I have a Nexus 6P. I use Cloud Drive, Google, and OneDrive. So when I put this on a charger at night, all my photos and videos go to all three of those services. All three. And that makes me feel safe, right? When I take the perfect picture of my kid doing something at his school or playing baseball, that makes me feel safe. And I'm telling you, I used it not too long ago. I don't know what I did. We went to Italy last summer for vacation, almost about 11 months ago. And I took this picture of my kids. We had just left the Tower of Pisa, right? And we were walking on the lawn, and we had to do the obligatory, Americanized, put your hands up and hold up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? So my boys did that. One boy put his hands up, and the other boy just stood there and posed. Got my phone out. I was like, all right, boys, got it. Well, we came home, and then we looked through the pictures, and that one turned out. I mean, it was awesome. It beautiful color. It's Italy, Leaning Tower, Pisa. The boys look great. The lighting was great. It was a great picture. So you know how it is, Mike. After vacation, you've got how many cell phones? Your wife's, yours. If your kids are older, you got their cell phones too.
Mm-hmm.
You go through that too?
Yeah, partly, yes.
You want all those pictures. So you're like, okay, give me all the stuff. I need all your phones. And you capture all the photos. And then probably you took an SLR or a camera,
Right.
because you're thinking, oh, this is important. We better take this 500-pound camera with us and take pictures, which I agree. It's important. We took our SLR. So you got to get those SD cards. Well, I had multiple SD cards. So you got to gather all those up. You got to throw them on your PC, gather them up, label them, however you do, put them on your service. Somehow, some way, I lost that perfect picture of my boys holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not more than like 2 months ago, they were like, he was doing a project, writing a paper on Italy. He said, Dad, I want that one picture. Remember that one? That was cool. I'm like, no problem, kid. I'll print it out. I couldn't find it, Mike. It was gone. I don't know what happened in all those copy operations or whatever. I could not find it. And the thing is when we got back, when I was absolutely sure I copied everything over, I cleaned my phone.
Oh, ouch.
I zapped everything. I zapped it. And I don't know what I did. I don't know why it wasn't on Google. I think I had turned Google off at that point because there's this big chunk of time that's missing. I don't know why it didn't make it to OneDrive. I think because I cleaned OneDrive. Because every once in a while, all those photos go out there, right? You may take 2 or 3, and a couple of them may stink, and you've got to go out and clean, right? Because your entire camera
Yep.
roll is out there. So you've got your
Right.
camera roll out there. You got your camera roll on your camera. You got to figure out, okay, which one of these am I going to use? It's a maddening process in my house. I've still not gotten it like complete. But for some reason, Amazon had it in their cloud service. Amazon, I don't even know what it's called. Amazon Cloud Service. You just put it on your phone. If you're a Prime member, you get all this stuff for free. They just back up your photos. And it was there. I was able to download it. I printed it.
You're a lucky guy.
Yeah, I don't know what I did to it. 3 cloud services I back up to. I'm not going to stop. I'm not turning them off, Mike.
I'm laughing because I'm actually getting ready to go to Europe next month, and I'm going through the same gyrations of trying to get everything set up, prepped. I got the SLR. I got a crap load of memory cards, and we're all ready to go.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I happen to have this right here because I switched. I did a YouTube today, so I call this my YouTube camera. But I took this on spring break. We went to Washington D.C. for a couple of days. I took this. I love this camera. It is a Canon G7X. I call it my YouTube camera because if you're on video, you can see why it does this. See how that screen flipped up, and see how you
That
can
is really cool.
See how you can see yourself just like you're doing like a selfie, but you have full resolution, right? You're not using the front camera of a phone to capture you and your family. And it's really, because you can flip this up like this, Mike, and sit it on a rock and run over with the timer on and take a picture. It has a full touch screen, so you can manipulate photos and do all the editing and stuff. It has Wi-Fi. This is a great camera.
That's pretty cool. How much does that run?
It depends on where you get it. Anywhere from like $400 to $600. I mean, it's not cheap. It's a good camera. It's like 22 megapixel.
Yeah.
Super. It's got HDR built in where it'll do the HDR for you. It seriously grabs 3 frames. Click, 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 and then it stitches it together. So really good stuff. Okay. I don't know how I got onto that.
I don't know, but don't get me tempted because I was almost going to get another camera.
Well, we have a Nikon SLR. I'm not a Canon guy. I just bought this because I thought that this would serve me well. And for the money, this is serving me well as my YouTube camera. Now, I still have things to figure out on this. It tries to focus on my face all the time, and I don't know how to turn that off. I might actually have to read the manual. And I would love if it had a shoe for a mic, so I could do like a little shotgun microphone, and it does not.
Right,
so
right.
It's not perfect, but it's really good. It's a really good camera. Amazon had their conference. They released a whole bunch of stuff. I just real quickly wanted to tell you that, let me find my note. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Amazon has something they call a snowball appliance. And it's 80 terabyte appliance. They will send it to you. You put your data on it. You send it back to them. Boom. Your data is in the Amazon cloud. It's the new 80 terabyte snowball costs $250 per job. I don't know exactly what that means, but to me that means to seed your storage is only going to cost you $250.
That's pretty good, especially for a small business or small to medium-sized business. That's an awesome deal. Yeah,
and it's worth it you don't have that risk of uploading, right? And managing the upload. Because it takes months to do that. I remember doing mine to Crash Plan. It takes a long time. So let me put that in the show notes. You guys might be interested in reading about that. That's kind of cool. They also, their S3 service, their transfer files is really sped up. So they've sped up their file transfer service. They say 300%, and I think that means cloud to cloud. That's not you. That's like cloud to cloud kind of acceleration speeds for Amazon. If you use S3, you may go out there. You may have already had an email. You may already know this, but I use S3 a little bit. I've started to use it a little more for website backups. Just because, making it a little easier. All right.
Yeah.
You use S3, right? That's your personal backup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been using it for 3-4 years.
I forget what I just did with one of my Synologies. I'm using a WordPress plugin that backs up to S3, and I'm having the Synology mirror that, right? So anytime it hits S3, the Synology goes, whoa, new data. Whoop, it downloads it. So you incur those costs, but I mean, I'm willing to pay for it, right? It's backup. But after that, I run a script on the Synology to move it to a new directory. So I do a destructive move, right? So I move it to me. I have it. It's me. And it's not out on Amazon anymore because it's a large file. So I don't get that huge monthly. I just get those little pennies of back and forth charges.
I think it depends on, obviously you have a different use case than probably most people, but if you're using some type of an integrated Amazon app, your charges really don't amount to a lot because you've got that one-time seeding, which hopefully took place a while ago, and you don't have a lot to put up there, and then it does the incrementals as you go along. So I think I probably average, I don't know, $2.50 a month, just basically keep it current.
Yep, absolutely. And folks, there's even cheaper out there. There's Glacier storage with Amazon, and you can use that.
Yeah,
and
have
you're
that
not
too.
going to, yeah, you're not going to be able to like browse your data and say, oh, give me that, oh, give me that, oh, give me that. You're going to be able to say, I need these directories, and Amazon's going to come at you with an email saying, okay, you can go get those now. We pulled those out of Glacier storage for you. Great way to super archive anything that you may, think is archival ready. It worries me. I mean, this is more of I don't know, this is a different conversation because we have it we always talk fun and storage and doing this and doing that. But think about, I have 2 boys, and I have photos going back their entire life. It's all digital. Very rarely did we print things out. We've got some stuff printed out. I have to keep these photos on a digital format for at least the remainder of my life, and hopefully have it somewhat usable for the remainder of theirs. And it could be all just wiped off the planet instantly with a mistake. Kind of like that Leaning Tower Pisa photo. One little mistake and it's gone. Whereas, your grandma and your mom, they've got all those albums, right? Come sit with your grandma and look through the photo albums.
And I think you got a really valid point. I think that's part of the concern that I always have when I look at these backup, these cloud services, and you're looking at strictly value, or you're looking at strictly, price per year or something like that. think we've seen enough of these disappear that it's probably worth your while if it's, you don't have to take any kind of service and put everything you own on it. I mean, I'm very selective about what gets moved on to S3. It has to be, it has to pass the smell test of criticality to where I don't want to lose it. And when you pare that stuff down, you're not backing up your Blu-rays or anything. When you pare that stuff down, it doesn't amount to a lot, and it's not worth in my opinion, it's not worth saving a couple bucks a year to give it to somebody that may not be here next year versus Amazon, whose primary business is storage.
Correct. Yeah, if you're going to trust anyone, yeah, I would trust them. But the philosophical question is, what am I saving for, right? If your child decides, meh, I'm not going to save that old crap that dad saved, one bad decision and everything that I've worked so hard on this, Mike, since I can't even remember when, 2005, when I started saving all this stuff.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now that I've depressed everybody, make sure if you hand it to your children, make sure you hand it a copy to every child.
Keep a copy for yourself.
Maybe put it in a bank vault, yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the home automation corner. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. OneNote, where are you? What did I put in here about Lowe's Iris? These Lowe's Iris guys, they're having some trouble. Second generation Lowe's Iris system is out. We've got a lot of coverage about this in homeautomationforums.com. A couple of the guys out there have used the Lowe's system. And Dwayne Robinson out there, he was a beta tester. I think I can say that. I'm not sure. He was a beta tester of it, and I don't even know if he likes it. So version 2 is having a whole lot of trouble. Kind of reminds me of SmartThings version 2. Mike, have you gotten into any of these doorbells where you walk up and they start recording?
Sure.
And you answer with your phone? Do you have like 17 of these?
No, I just have one. I'm using the Ring actually, and I really like that actually. It just works really well. It looks slick, and it just the performance is good, and it's stable.
Did you catch anybody stealing your Amazon boxes off your porch?
No, knock on wood. I'm hoping that doesn't actually happen, but I mean I'm catching people delivering them all the time, but I'm not catching anybody actually taking them. I also actually have a front-pointing camera it's hanging off the eave of my garage that captures everybody going in, because my doorbell is actually mounted kind of to the side. So when you come up to the door, you got to look to your left and press the button. And some people don't actually look directly into the camera. So although it works 99% of the time, there's times where you wish you had a slightly better shot, or I wish I could position it a little differently. So I may do that in the future. For now, it works really well. I'm probably going to add the Ring add-on camera that they offer, and actually post that in a sort of a diametric corner type arrangement where I can capture, if they're not looking at the Ring doorbell, they'll be looking at the door or to the side, and I can capture them either way. But if I miss them there, I'll catch them coming out of the front door or going back to the sidewalk.
Yeah. I like the Ring. I'll be honest with you. I like the Ring. I started considering that, and then boom, they dropped their brand new product, which is that's Ring Pro HD or something, and it's actually smaller, because what they have and what you have now is a 720p product, so they're coming out with a 1080p product, and the width on it, Mike, I would say is probably 3 inches on yours, maybe. Maybe not. 3
I was
inches?
muted. Yeah, probably. The width is probably closer to 2.25 or so.
Okay.
But it's pretty tall. And you're right. I mean, the resolution is sort of, let's say, it could stand some improvement.
Well, I mean, I would be okay with 720p for a doorbell, but I mean, if they're going to release a 1080p, I mean, it's better. It's more. It's better, right?
Sure.
It's the size that gets me. Every door, I have the little door jamb that's like an inch and a half thick, and then it's brick. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just simply cannot do it. So I was looking around at other doorbell cameras, and let me put this in the live chat for the guys to have a chuckle at. This is CNET reviewing the August doorbell. Mike, I don't know if you looked at this link, but this doorbell is going to rip someone's arm. It's going to gash their arm because they've hung it, a 2-inch wide square onto a 1-inch, platform of wood by their door. It's the stupidest looking thing ever, and I hope maybe none of you guys have done this. I hope not, but it's just terrible, and it just reminds me how bad some of the CNET reviews are, and why do I ever go to that site? I don't know why. Recluse in the chat says he's bought the real link. I think we were having a Twitter conversation or something back and forth, and we were recommending that either the Amcrest or the real link 4-megapixel camera. But take a look at the August doorbell review from CNET. I'll put the link in the show notes. It's horrible. Not the product, but their mounting of the product.
I'm
Okay.
actually looking at that right now. That's pretty hokey.
Yeah, I mean, it's sticking out. I would tear my arm open with it. I mean, I'm kind of clumsy, but it's horrible. It's horrible. Okay, so I told you my Amazon story earlier, and I was using, it was a $150 gift card on a Visa debit that I was given as a gift, and I was bantering around. This thing was going to expire in July, and I'm like, I better use this because I'm going to blink and it's going to be August, right? That's just how it happens, and I didn't want this money to go to waste. So I thought, you know what? I've always wanted this product right here. It's a weather station. Always wanted my own weather station, Mike. This has an indoor sensor and an outdoor sensor, and it monitors indoor, of course, temperature, humidity, air quality, CO2, and a sound meter. I don't know. They're worried about me playing my music too loud. I don't know. The outdoor sensor has temperature, humidity, air quality, barometric pressure, and weather. So that seems pretty good. Now that I've said that, I was looking at it has a web app, and it's listing pressure on the indoor sensor. I don't know why that is. I'm going to have to do a blog post on this or something to show you. This is a cool little device. It was $150, and it has add-ons that you can add. You can add an actual wind speed gauge or a rain gauge. That's cool. And it will all talk to this central station, and you can get this on your phone or anything with a web browser. I'm looking at the web app right now, and it's pretty doggone cool. It's really cool. There's a lot of information coming at you.
I'm actually going to be interested in hearing what you have to say about that, especially the add-ons. I mean, I live in an area that's kind of on a hill, and it's sort of especially depending on the time of year, it's a perpetual wind tunnel, and I would love to be able to add something that actually just tracks the wind, speeds out here.
Yeah, let me get back to my station here. It's really kind of cool. Of course, it's going to give you the weather. that's a no-brainer. And the app is really cool because you can flip through the app and you can get the, of course, the temperature and the feels like temperature, because they're giving you the heat index because of wind speed. They're giving you because of humidity and temperature. So they're going to give you that feels like temperature. It has air quality. I thought that was really cool. I don't know exactly how I'm going to use that because it's just been green for me since I got it, since I unboxed it this afternoon. I don't know what's going to set it off, but we're going to see. I like it. So far, $150, pretty well spent. Now, I always want to push it a little farther, right? And what can this integrate with? And it does integrate with SmartThings, and there's also some IFTTT. On Twitter today, DKB Intrigue told me that you can log rainfall to like a spreadsheet with IFTTT. So if you're like intense, you want to talk about keeping pictures for your kids. If you want to keep the rainfall totals daily for your kids for every year of their life, I guess you can with a spreadsheet.
Well, in Southern California, that's going to be a pretty small spreadsheet.
It's going to be a low kilobyte spreadsheet. Yep. Do you need this? No, you don't need this. There's things called weather.com. Yes, you can totally get by without this. But, there's a lot of data here that you could use if you wanted to. So, I'm going to try it. I'm going to integrate it with my SmartThings. We're going to talk about some things later where I'm going to hopefully be able to present this information very quickly. It's a French company, Netatmo, Netatmo, Netatmo. I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong. They have other products. They have cameras. They have an indoor camera, Mike, that tags faces, and it'll remember 16 faces. So you come in, it sees your face, it's like, okay, Mike's home, no big deal. If you're at work, you get an alert that a new face just entered your house. You could just pop onto the camera and see that, okay, the friends invited, your kids invited somebody over, no big deal. Or maybe there's a big ugly man standing in your foyer with a crowbar. I don't know how that's going to work, but I was chatting kind of on Twitter today about this because I did a YouTube on, I unboxed this weather station, and I've been talking with, I'll put the link in the show notes, a girl by the name of Rose, and she has actually reviewed the camera product. She hasn't reviewed the weather station, but the camera product, and I'll put that link in the show notes as well, so that's kind of cool. Does that gotcha? Did I get you with this one?
Yeah,
I didn't get you with the TiVo.
No, this is more up my speed than
Okay.
TiVo. But yeah, I'd like to see that.
This has, not only does it have a web app, but it has a Windows Phone app. All you kids out there on Windows Phone. I haven't looked at it yet. I have my Windows Phone sitting right here, and I will look at that app and let you know. But the web app is awesome. I'm just sitting here looking at it. It's just, there's so much data right there in front of you, you know? You can look at temperature and rain, and I don't even have the other gear yet, Mike. You have to buy separately the rain gauge and the wind speed. I want the rain gauge for sure. Definitely have to have the rain gauge. I was told not to put it under a pine tree or near a pine tree. So again, Twitter is awesome. Okay, here's the other one. I got you with this one. Spruce irrigation controller. These guys that I have backed from day one have delivered 100% on their Kickstarter. Now, this is important to me because I've been screwed by Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I have. I've paid money and gotten squat on a couple of things. These guys have delivered 100% to their backers, and now they're going after new sales. And they announced something new, which it's an irrigation controller, right? They released it for SmartThings. They said, if you have SmartThings, you buy this, we control your sprinklers. Cool. I wanted that anyway. I just so happened to be on SmartThings. They are now going to create an interface where everybody can use it, a web app, right? Because you may not be on SmartThings. You may be on something else. What's yours? Your ISY?
Yeah, I'm on Insteon actually,
Yeah.
using the ISY. Yeah.
So if you didn't want to get an Insteon controller for your sprinkler system, maybe you could look at Spruce Irrigation Controller. So spruceirrigation.com. Put the link in the show notes. I put some links to some pictures for you, Mike, in the OneNote. And again, it's like the cool presentation of data. It's
I'm
awesome.
looking at that right now, actually. Yeah.
So maybe
that'd be something I would really actually could use and really benefit from, and there might even be a payback for me.
Oh, absolutely. Living in SoCal. I mean, here's how I'm going to use it. It's supposed to have the smarts. Like today, it rained this morning, and it rained tonight. Let's say I'm set up on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday water schedule. I know that sounds crazy to you guys in California. But that irrigation controller should, and I'm not saying it does because I haven't even unboxed the thing, it should say, hey, Dave, it rained this morning. It's going to rain tonight. I'm not turning on. That's why I bought it. Right there. That's why I bought it. I don't want to be that idiot that has the sprinklers pop up at 6 a.m. when there is rain coming down, right? And we've all seen that. We've all seen that. It's a waste.
Yep.
So I'm super excited about this, and I've been beating up my my sprinkler guy, Henry. We're just going to call him Henry. That's his real name. I said, Henry, you got to come by my house and turn on my stuff because I got a review I got to do, right? So I've got a new house, and I don't want to just slap in the new controller if what I bought in the wintertime doesn't work, right? I don't even know if my new irrigation system works, so I need him to come out and make sure everything works. And actually, we got to do a backflow test. Every 2 or 3 years, you got to do a backflow test. So I'm at that point. I'll put that in the show notes. Spruce Irrigation. What is it? SpruceIrrigation.com. I've talked and I've talked and I've talked, Mike. I need some coffee. I know you had a couple of things. Some tracking. You had some tracking devices, didn't you? That you just got?
Yeah, actually, I've always been fascinated by these little, GPS or Bluetooth positional devices. Mm-hmm. I played around with the tile when it first came out, and for the most part, it works pretty well. It's come in handy a couple times. But the problem with the tile is it's kind of ugly and bulky, and it's not. I mean, it's this big rectangular, white thing that you're going to stick on your keys or you're going to stick on your laptop or whatever. Recently, there's a company by the name of Tracker who released their product, and they've actually released a total solution. So I'm kind of really fascinated with that. I've only received the actual tracker, but I don't know if everybody can see it. But it's spelled TRACKR, and it's aesthetically it's a heck of a lot nicer looking than the tile. It has the same basic functionality as the tile, with a few additional features. But the one cool thing that I was intrigued by was the fact that they have a supplementing product that that they're in pre-order stages right now, which is actually for lack of a better term, it's sort of an internal house geofencing type device where you plug a receiver into every room of the house, and assuming you have multiple of these things tracking different things, it will know exactly where that device is positionally based on, you know, what room it's in and what signal strength it's getting from which receiver. So it'll actually give you kind of a map. You label your rooms, and you'll tell you, okay, hey, you left your keys in the bedroom or whatever. Um, Again, it's not one of these things that's life critical, but it's kind of cool. You know, most of us listening to this show are into toys of some kind, so we want to. And I thought that this was really fascinating. I'm getting a lot of use out of the tracker itself. The in-house position stuff will be sort of more of a toy than it probably serve a whole lot of functionality. But I'm still looking forward to giving it a shot. The other thing that was intriguing to me was the pricing was actually very attractive. They actually sell them directly from their website for if you buy two, you get two free for $59.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good deal. So I ended up picking up the 4-pack and kind of experimenting with different things and where I can see it to be most useful. Certainly keys is one of them. I'm actually going to, for purposes not of losing it so much as a notification, an away notification, I'm going to put it on my laptop bag and various other things. So I'm going to play around with that and see how these things work out.
They also have, straight from their website, buy 4, get 6 free. I mean, but
yeah,
it's 10 for 120.
Yeah, the more you buy, the cheaper they are.
There you go. I like these things. Not a lot of people like these things. I like these things. And let me tell you my experience with them. I got one bit of advice for you. And you guys listening, one huge bit of advice. If you ever stick these secretively in your children's backpacks, don't. Tell them, this belongs to me. Do not throw it away. I don't know what happened at school. My now 9-year-old should kind of know better. I'm like, son, it's this big white thing. It's a SmartThings locator. It's big. It's not trash. Does it look like trash to you? I'm trying to really understand why a child would say, oh, what's this? I don't know. I should throw this away. Threw it away. It's like $30 to $40 worth of electronics. The battery, for God's sakes, was worth $2. You just threw it away. You just threw it away. So tell your children. I used to really like it where, the bus would pull away and my phone would go boop, boop, boop. Colton and Max have left, the house. I never really used it. I mean, I'm not going to track them on their backpack, but I was just kind of proving, the whole geofencing thing with SmartThings, and I cannot believe he threw it away. I don't know what goes through a kid's mind. Oh, look, I don't know what this is. I'm tossing it. It's hooked to my backpack, but I'm just going to toss it. Word of advice. Word of advice.
So I'm not going to send you any trackers for having your kids try them out then.
That's right. Please don't. Please don't. So I've been hearing about these. We're almost done here. Let's see. We're about an hour into this thing. I've been hearing about some aggregation services, and I'm going to explain this. So a lot of people are buying different home automation pieces of gear, right? You buy a light bulb, you buy a lamp plug, you buy a Wi-Fi motion sensor. Well, okay, the motion sensor works with that plug, but it doesn't work with that light bulb, right? Or it doesn't do this and it doesn't connect to that. It doesn't IFTTT, but it has the Amazon keyword you know, that thing that you talk to. I can't say the name because I get yelled at on Twitter. What I'm saying is I need something to pull it all together, make it all nice and friendly. Apple promised us they were going to do that. SmartThings promised us they were going to do that. Nobody has done it all perfectly. So here come the people from, all these little startup companies. They're going to solve all the problems of the world with all these IoT things. And I found three, and one of them I'm going to use, and I'll tell you how. The first one is a product called Muzzly, muzzley.com. I will put that link in the show notes. I'm also going to put it out there to the live audience. You can take a look. Now, this one has a Windows Phone app. So all you guys with Windows phones, still, I don't know why, but you still have your phone, you can play with this. It's like I said, it's an aggregation service. It's going to give you smarts for your Ecobee, your Hughes, even your Netatmo weather station. It's going to give you that. Muzzly.com. Take a look at that. I would actually like someone to review this, and we'll put you on the podcast. We'll put you in the forums. Something. I would like this reviewed. I like this one. I like the Muzzly. There's another one called Thington. And I got to spell that for you. Thing, THINGTON.com. Thington. I'm going to put that in the show notes, and I'm going to put that out there for the live audience as well, so they can play along at home. It has a pretty impressive set of aggregation services. Hue, Wemo, Netatmo, all kinds of different things. None of them are perfect, Mike. None of them are perfect. Now, this next one I'm going to show you is not necessarily aggregation service as it is a layer. Layer. L-A-Y-E-R, not a layer. If you're a SmartThings user, you're going to want to look at this one. SmartTiles.click. I have found SmartTiles.click to be faster for me than the SmartThings app itself. You load this up, and it will give you a web page for all of your IoT devices on SmartThings. Let me put that in the live chat. So what this is, and the name gives it away. So if you go to the website, scroll down to the bottom and look at the tiles. So it is doing like a presentation for you of all of your stuff. So it's all there in front of you as a tile. So a tile, think Windows 10, think Windows Phone, presents you some information, and it can change states, right? So lamp on, lamp off. Garage door open, garage door closed. Mike, I have found if I have to go to the SmartThings app, I use it less. I completely, because it starts up, it's slow, and it boots to this one screen that they want you to be in, but I don't want to be in that screen. One day I want to be at the garage room. The next day I want to be at the dining room. I want to be everywhere at once. Smart Tiles does that. At a glance, I can open Smart Tiles and I can poke the lamp and it just turns on fast, just like that. In an instant, I can see if all three garage doors are open or closed or whatever state they're in. I can see instantly. And if you have Nests and Ecobees and all that kind of cool stuff, you can see all that information right there in front of you. So smarttiles.click is what I'm going to use in my new home after I get everything transitioned over SmartThings.
I really like their interface. I'm just wondering how effective it is if you've got, 70 devices.
Well, yeah, now that I have no clue. I'm not even going to defend it. I don't even know how to manage that. Maybe it gives you like, a way to scale. I have no clue. Mike, I have no idea.
I mean, I like it if certainly, this reminds me of, I'm a Mobile Link user and they have like a favorite screen. It's not nice, not nearly as nice as this, but conceptually I could see where where you could put, you know, the most often used type stuff on your screen. I think that's really cool. I'm just curious how what they're picturing here is more like a Windows phone or a Windows 10 screen. I wonder how it looks on iOS or Android.
Well, I'll just show you my test one.
Oh, you have one?
Oh yeah. So you see the green app right there, Smart
Yeah.
Tiles. Let me tap that. So it's coming up. It's pretty fast.
Okay.
And there's my information right there.
That's nice looking, actually.
Yeah. So it looks good there, and then it will scale that way too. So I can see instantly. Actually, I've got wife's phone is here. My 6P is here. Arrival sensor 1 is here, but arrival sensor 2 has not checked in for like 2 months because my child threw it away. So I'm just going to have to delete that from my SmartThings. One cool thing I like about this, I'm not going to show you, but you know how in SmartThings you can dig into history of that device and you can see how things flowed. This gives you going to give you a quick little. That's the device history, right?
Okay.
So that shows you, okay, garage door opened, outdoor lights came on. That's the history of things that happened in a real nice, presentable format. I really like that with Smart Tiles. Now, they are getting it to the point. This is a community project. It's free. They have got it to the point where they're putting camera icons on the screen. So in that blurb of information that you see all at once, you're seeing your cameras too. That's just cool as heck. I'm telling you, if you're a SmartThings user, you probably should look at this for your quick in and outs, right? That's how I use it. Quick in and out. I can't wait to get moved and start using this. I can't wait. Whew, done. That's what happens when we go 2 weeks without doing a show.
Yeah.
But we have a good podcast. It's an hour and a half long. Tons of information. Do you have anything else for me?
Nothing super special. Just throw in a quick. If anybody's in the market for looking for one of these, and I know you've been using them for a long time, but one of these wireless hard drives, most of them are not created equal, and most of them don't work very well, especially from the Wi-Fi streaming point of view. But because of my upcoming trip and various other reasons, I decided I needed one of these, so I went through, a bunch of different ones. And the one I actually locked into and that I'm using and it seems to be working really well is the Corsair Voyager 2. It's at the best Wi-Fi performance I've seen out of any of these devices.
Right.
I mean, it's not screaming fast, but I've been able to stream. I've tested it so far with 3 simultaneous HD streams, and it's been over wireless, and it's been keeping up, and it's been doing really well. So it's great little utility to throw on a bunch of movies if you're traveling in the car or if you're going somewhere. It comes with a terabyte drive. It's decent battery life, not super special, but in the 5-hour range. But plenty of storage and really decent Wi-Fi for your mobile devices and as you're traveling. So again, it's not a new product. It's a second generation, and certainly it's not a new category. It's been around for a long time. It's just that they don't work very well unless you find one that actually has really good Wi-Fi performance.
Mm-hmm. I used to be a super huge fan of those things, and I know if you've been a long time listener, you've probably heard me go
Yeah.
on about. I had one from A-Data, which I really liked, and it did the same. It had a little power brick. You could
Yeah.
you could share 5 devices on
Mm-hmm.
hotel Wi-Fi. It would connect to hotel Wi-Fi, and it would share that out too. It was really pretty
Right.
slick. I mean, yeah, it's going to be slow. It's going to be halved, but at least you've got it. And it also, you could put an SD card in it and stream movies to uh, PCs. I mean, yeah, anything in the car. So or wherever you're at with the device. It's really super cool. And yeah, a lot of people came up with one. All the hard drive manufacturers came up with one, and then the Corsair has theirs, and that looks like a great one. So man, you're gonna get me back on that because I love that. I like
Yeah.
being able to like put that in the car and just leave it, right?
Yeah.
And you always have that, get a 64 gig SD card. That's what I used to use, and put tons of movies on it and have the kids be able to do that. So,
Well, this thing actually comes preloaded with a terabyte drive.
wow,
But
that's great.
this would be a great, if you really start getting into it, this would be one of these things I'd love to pop the top off and throw a fairly decent size SSD in there, so not have to worry about, you know, drive locks or anything like that. But right now it's mostly intended to be used in a stationary, not so much in a. It's going to be used from the cruise ship. It's going to be used from I use it, and when you start using it at work a little bit, but so I'm not going to be driving in the car so much, but it's just a really cool little product, comes in real handy if you can get one that'll sustain what you want to do. These manufacturers do not use the same chipsets for Wi-Fi in these things. I went through some
Mm.
hell. Some of these they can barely stream one HD stream without choking. This is rated at 10 devices, but I just not going to get anywhere near that unless it's a really super low resolution movie.
Yeah, and yeah, that's probably what they tested it with,
Yeah,
640 by 480 or something,
yeah.
resolution. And that reminds me, I ran across just today a YouTube about Western Digital My Passport wireless device,
Hmm.
and this is kind of a different take on this problem, but it's like a wireless backup device, right? So you connect your phones and things to it, but it's pretty much the same thing. So you're connecting to it and you're backing up all your devices to it, but you can also pull from it. So it's a pretty cool. I'll put that link in the show notes. I was pretty impressed with this review, and I watched the video, and I'll put that in the show notes. It's a Western Digital product.
The Western Digital is actually probably a slightly better unit. I don't know about the Wi-Fi performance, but they do a better job with the overall application and integration. So, and that's important. If you want to use it for a backup device. That really wasn't my use case, but I mean, if you're looking for that type of portability, I would go with the Western Digital too.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like transfer your files from your cameras to it. It's a media hub. I mean, you can call it a backup server. You could call it a file server, media
Right.
hub, whatever you want to do with it. I guess it would be good. I bet you that Voyager will do the same thing. If you're in Europe, you could back up everything to
Yeah,
that.
you certainly can. But again, I think how slick they've made their application is questionable because it's decent for uh, pulling in the files and viewing movies
Mhm.
and stuff, but it's sort of remnant of Gen 1 Synology or something where you had the more of a Linux look and less of a polished look
Mhm.
where WD is going to be a little bit more. They probably had a little bit larger R&D budget for software development.
Yeah, it's probably like the first A-Data I app that they gave me with this thing, and it was just like file folders. It was just you'd launch it, and you would log in, and it would be file folders, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, this isn't much better than that, other than you do get thumbnails if you hit the movies and photos section, kind of like a cataloger, but it's not real super slick. It just works well.
That's good. I mean, it doesn't have to be slick as long as what you said right at the end, it works well.
Yeah.
That's what you needed to do. I will put these links, the Voyager 2 and the Western Digital wireless backup device, on the show notes. So I'm going to ask everybody out there, you guys come and take a look at these show notes, click on the links, and tell us if you like these products or not. If you have them, if you have used them, let's get some reviews going. Maybe we can meet up in the forums and we can talk about some things like this. So I am totally dead. No voice left. Mike, thanks for joining me tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. We've got to work out a show where you talk more. I talk way too much. I kind of consume all the air in the room.
Well, make up for that when you have your SOFO show or your Untangled show or something.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's put that on the books. I'd love that. Love to do that. You guys can teach me some Untangle.
There you go.
All right, well, that's been Home Server Show 299. Don't forget to follow me on the Twitter, Home Server Show, and McCabe.io. Don't forget PC Doc. All of the links that we talked about will be in the show notes. Go out there, click those. Don't forget to shop, homeservershow.com/Amazon. And we'll get a couple of pennies. We'll pay for the bandwidth, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Dave.
Woo!
Ah.
Thanks, YouTubers. I'm going to hit the big stop button so we don't go too far over. Good night, guys in the chat room.